my book, Leaving Large, The Stories of a Food Addict. And I get leaving large, what's that all about? You know, what's a food addict? You know, I hear about other kind of addicts, but what's a food addict? What's a food story? I think the best way that I can tell you about my book is to tell you a little bit about my life. And before I was a writer, before I was a speaker, before I was a food story coach, before I was I Am Brand New Now, which is my brand, I was a salesperson. I was a marketing person in this area and in other parts of the country for some of the top communications and media companies in the country. I worked for many years for Radio 1. I don't know if you all are familiar with Radio 1. Worked for Kathy Hughes. As a matter of fact, she wrote the foreword for my book. And I worked for them at one point when they were located not too far from Union Station. And in working for them and going by Union Station, there was a store in Union Station called White House Black Market. Anybody know that store? So I would have occasion to pass by that a lot. And I would pass by the window and I would see these beautiful garments, these beautiful outfits in the window. And I could never wear any of them. All I could do was look in the window and wish that I could. But I still had to show up. Even though I was standing in front of this store, and even though I was obese or morbidly obese, I still had to go to Radio 1 every day and show up and sell, like Lyric said yesterday, like a rock star. And I was, right? In spite of the fact that I didn't want to be on camera, I was hiding behind people, in spite of the fact that I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror, in spite of the fact that I was a food addict, in spite of the fact, I still had to show up. But then one day, you know, something happened, right? Something happened. And I prayed, right? I prayed and I made a decision. I made a decision that I didn't want to live like this anymore. I just didn't. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't do it and step into my full wealth. Because the reality is, we hear it all the time, your health is your wealth, right? And as well as I thought I was doing at Radio 1, right? Even though I was a top performer, I still wasn't performing at a level that I could perform because I didn't have my full health. So, this prayer happened. And I learned how to be better, right? I learned what better felt like. I learned what better looked like. And this book is about the stories that freed me from 40 years of obesity. The book is about the stories that kept me trapped as well, but the freedom is what the story is about. And when I learned to do that, what I learned to do was change my belief system. And so when I changed my belief system about food, around eating, around hunger, then my behavior changed. And when my behavior changed, then my body changed. And when my body changed, because listen, the body and mind, all that's connected, it's not separate. Right. And when that changed, my life changed. My name is Michelle Petties. I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a food story coach. I am brand new now, and anybody that is overworked, overstressed, overwhelmed, overeating, and over it, and ready to change, it can happen for you. I'm here to tell you.